All right, good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to call the Board Operations Committee meeting to order. Would everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, the first item on the agenda is the approval of the previous meeting minutes. Does anyone have any changes or revisions to the meeting minutes from February 11th, 2025? Okay, hearing none, we'll move on to item number 3, public participation. We have one person who signed up for public participation, Mr. Tennis.
My name is Mike Tennis from Sleepy Hollow. Like its February presentation on the district's proposed master facility plan consisted of a 6-year spending plan with 4 spending priorities. First priority, spend $68 million funded by non-refundable bonds on life safety projects. If life safety items are truly for safety, they should not be planned for 4 to 6 years, but 3. 6 years would cost a homeowner of a $300,000 property $89 yearly for 20 years. Recommendation: life safety bonds empower school districts to avoid getting taxpayer approval for capital projects. Scale back non-referendum projects, shifting $34 million to a lower priority. Reduce the hit on taxpayers for a more palpable $45 yearly. Second priority, spend $71 million on safety and compliance like ADA, fire safety, and structural integrity that needs to happen. Recommendation: couple shifted life safety projects with good projects to $105 million, more likely to be supported by a referendum. A county facility sales tax using alternate bonds may be more likely a source of funds than a referendum. Third priority, spend $272 million to resolve capacity challenges. Since district population has remained flat over the past 10 years and decreased from 136,000 in 2020 to 120,000 in 2024, capacity challenges seem unlikely. Recommendation: given that school buildings are only 70% utilized, any growth in enrollment should be absorbed by existing capacity by realigning boundaries. Fourth priority, spend $136 million to enhance education with flexible and modern spaces. Recommendation: recognize needs versus wants. High equalized assessed values to support wants are realized through a strong academic record. Hopefully, the district will get there in the future. Regarding Raymond James Funding Option 3, a $250 million referendum with refunding and no tax increase. Oppose refunding $43.8 million. That debt's origins are from a $185 million referendum in March of 2006, 19 years ago. Stop charging taxpayers compounded interest and debt dating back 2 decades. Thank you.
Thank you. That moves us to item 4, items for discussion. Item 4.1, disposal report.
Good evening. I am reporting the March 2025 fixed asset disposal report This report, while longer than our normal monthly report, contains broken and obsolete tech items, weeded books, broken equipment. There are no out-of-the-ordinary items for disposal. Pending board approval, Tech Recycle for this large disposal request is pending pickup over spring break. Did anybody have any questions?
None for me. Anyone else? No, thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. It is long. We're still scrolling. Thank you. Item 4.2, Treasurer's Report.
Good afternoon. As of January 31st, 2025, the district had approximately $189.3 million of cash on hand. All funds are trending nicely as compared to last year this time. If we look a little closer and look at our operating funds, you can see our revenue is 52% to budget. Last year at this time, we were at about 53%. And expenditure-wise, we're close to about 51% of budget compared to almost 50% last year. So kind of a neck-and-neck race. One note, I talked about this last time. You see that our short-term interest rates continue to decrease. Looking at last year this time, interest rates were about 5.293%, and now we're down to 4.295, so almost a full point there. Any questions for me?
None for me. Anyone else? No, thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Okay, item 4.3, Activity Bus Purchase and Lease Agreement.
Good afternoon. Since COVID, this is the first time that we've been able to have this conversation. These buses were not available and were much more highly priced than what they've come down to due to demand. We've been using the activity buses for about 15 years now to support sports trips and group trips and keep our field trip costs down. We did an analysis of what our field trip savings is using the activity buses, and we save about $125,000 a year by our coaches safely driving these buses versus having a school bus provide that transportation. Currently, we have 4 2009 activity buses that are in need of being replaced. With doing this 2 buses at a time is much more cost effective. So being able to now look at purchasing buses to replace those is pretty exciting. We have 2 2019 activity buses that are $66,308 per bus for a total of $132,616. The cost to lease these 2 buses for 5 years is a total of $119,460 for a difference of $13,156. We can own these vehicles, use them beyond the 5 years, and still have a resale value when it comes time to replace them as well. So financially, it makes the most sense to purchase these vehicles versus leasing because their useful life goes beyond the 5 years, where we would more than make up for that $13,000 in the difference of leasing to purchasing. To be able to replace 2 of our 2009 activity buses, we also need to lease 2 buses. And again, this is very exciting. This is the first time I've even been able to entertain leasing 2 brand-new activity buses, 2025 activity buses for a total of $41,980 annually, and that covers both of the two 2025 activity buses. And after that initial investment of purchasing the two 2019 buses, the lease cost is still well below our savings in using a school bus to provide the transportation for these trips. So purchasing the two activity buses and leasing two new ones will allow us to sell two of our 2009 activity buses that are obviously at 16 years old. The estimated value would be about $5,000 per vehicle, which will help offset the purchase price of the two 2019 activity buses. The recommendation is to approve the purchase of the two 2019 buses and the 5-year lease of the two 2025 activity buses. This recommendation does support goals 1, 4, and 5 of the strategic plan. The total cost, again, to purchase the vehicles is $132,616. The total cost to lease the two activity buses for a 5-year term is $41,980 annually. This would be funded through the transportation fund, and the cost of these vehicles also can be depreciated over a 5-year term in the transportation claim. Does anybody have any questions? Yes.
So I think I missed it, but did you say we now have 2 or we now have 4?
We currently in our fleet have 4 2009 activity buses and 1 2012 activity bus. Those are the 4 that we own as a district, and then we lease 2 more on top of that.
Okay, so then, what, oh, I'm sorry. So then, how many will we have if we go with your recommendation?
We will keep the same number, which
You're
is
only
by,
selling 2.
if we're but purchasing 2 and leasing 2. So by purchasing the 2, we're able to replace 2 of our older fleet, still maintain the same number, because we're still going to hang on to 2 of our 2 2009s and the 2012 activity bus. The addition of the purchase buses with those 3 plus our 2 lease will keep us at 7 activity buses where we currently are.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Are the buses that we're purchasing that are the 2019s, are those ones that we've had and now we're purchasing them out of the lease, or are they coming in new?
They're coming in new as a lease turn-in through Midwest Transit, who we have done business with since purchasing activity buses.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else? Okay, thank you.
Thanks. Item 4.4, custodial uniform contract extension.
Yeah. Custodial uniforms are supplied to our building custodians, maintenance, and grounds employees through the negotiated DESPA contract. So we're looking at extending service wear apparel out of Nashville, Tennessee, from April 1st, 25 to March 31st of 2026. On a personal side, as a manager, this is like our 4th or 5th company we've used in my 8 years here, and they have been the best. They've been the most consistent. We get great products from them, and the guys are happy. And they actually, the whole orders come. It's great. It's amazing. So this contract renewal, it comes in at an increase of 2.48%, which is under the district standard of 3.40. We are estimating the amount of the contract to be $86,675.24, which will come out of our Fund 20, Buildings and Grounds. So.
One of the things I wanted to mention, and I think Alberto recalls this as well, is one of the last negotiating sessions with DESPA, they did complain about the uniforms. And I think with this company, the satisfaction has increased, as well as the product is here.
Absolutely, yeah.
So,
that was the biggest thing, is we
yes.
would get partial shipments, and guys and ladies were just waiting for their
Their gear.
their gear, yeah, so.
Okay, I don't have any questions. Anyone else? Sounds good. Glad that that company's still working out. Item 4.5, fuel and lube contract extension.
Good afternoon again. Okay. District 300 supplies the fuel and lubricants for our contracted transportation services and our district vehicles. Our bid specifications are for the delivery of the fuels plus the cost of the fuel. And then the lubricants that it's the district preferred or needed for the equipment and vehicles that we currently have within our fleet. The district purchased 123,539 gallons of unleaded gasoline, 270,429 gallons of diesel fuel, for approximately $1,147,700 during the 2023-2024 school year. The district is exempt from federal excise and sales tax, but we do pay environmental impact tax. The lubricant specifications, as I stated, were based on the district preferred products such as motor oil weights, transmission fluid and lubricants that meet the requirements needed to maintain the equipment and fleet that we have, as well as the school buses. We're proposing a 1-year extension for both companies, L. Warren Oil Company and Rilco. The current companies we're working with have been great partners. We've had a couple emergency situations where we needed fuel delivered like the next day, and they did it. Thank goodness. Both companies have also agreed to hold their pricing for the 1-year extension. The administration recommends approving the 1-year extension, which the contract is from April 1, 2025 to March 31st, 2026 for L. Warren Oil Company for the gasoline and diesel fuel, Rilco Inc. for our lubricant products. The gasoline and diesel fuel, we pay a per gallon rate plus a 0.040 delivery fee for gasoline and a 0.045 for diesel fuel, with an estimated contract amount of $17,110.87 for the delivery, plus the OPIS cost of fuel and taxes for the 1-year contract extension. Lubricant products with an estimated contract amount of $26,638 for the 1-year extension. The fuel and lubricants funding comes from the operations and maintenance, driver's education, security, and transportation budgets. Any questions?
None for me. Anyone else? No, thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Item 4.6, intercom clock system replacement contract.
Hello again. As a district, we continue to replace and modernize our outdated clocks and intercom systems throughout the district. This is our last biggest piece of our summer work this year. We have switched to Atlas IED systems with the buildings that we have done that provides enhanced functionality and reliability. And moving forward with Applied Communications Group as our preferred vendor is our recommendation this evening. We are looking to do upgrades and replacements at Carpentersville and Hampshire Middle School, Gulfview and Lakewood Elementary, and Oak Ridge School. This transition will significantly impact our performance in the buildings. We have had some issues that our preferred vendor has worked through with also our construction company over the past 2 years, so we feel very confident in that. We recommend accepting the proposal and awarding the contract to Applied Communications Group for the summer 25 replacement at Carpentersville, Hampshire Middle School, Lakewood Elementary, Gulfview Elementary, and Oak Ridge School for a total project cost of $1,735,352. With total cost, including contingencies, fees, and other associated costs, is $2,228,551, which is $1,778,745 under the proposed budget. This would all be paid out of Capital Improvement Fund 60.
One of the things I did want to mention is that currently Oak Ridge School does not have an intercom system. So this would actually be adding it and not replacing it.
That's correct. Thank you.
Okay, anyone have any questions or comments on that? Right, thank you very much. I guess you get to stay up there
gonna
and
stay
try
here, yeah, if that's okay.
for the next few, right? Or no, the next one.
Yeah.
4.7, mats, mops, and towels contract extension.
This is a really exciting one. I know everybody's been waiting for this. We're looking to extend through Cintas the mats, mops, and towel service for district-wide sites. They actually do a very good job for us. I have not heard any complaints, at least this year, and I can't remember the last time we got a complaint about it. So we're seeking to extend it from March 1st of 25 through February 28 of 2026. The Cintas out of Greenville, Wisconsin. The extension is an estimated value of $151,498. That'll come out of our Operations and Maintenance Fund 20.
Great, any questions on that?
I have one question. Does
Yeah.
this include those buckets that have the spinner things where you can put the mop in and it'll ring it out for you?
No. Just the actual mops, the actual product. Yeah, so that's all good. We can work on that for next year.
Okay,
That's through a different contract, right?
yeah. Okay, item 4.8, PE uniform contract extension.
Good afternoon again. PE uniforms are worn by all middle school and high school students who dress daily for their PE classes. Uniforms are sold during school registration in the summer and throughout the school year at each of the middle school and high school sites. EPI, our current vendor, has agreed to hold their pricing. This would be a second contract extension for them. The extended period would be from April 1st, 2025 through March 31st of 2026. Administration is recommending the award in the amount of $50,826.80. And the students are paying for the uniforms out of their student fees. Does anyone have any questions I might be able to answer?
No, thank you.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Yeah, of
So-
course.
The fees for the uniform is not included in the waived school fees, correct?
No, it is not. It's an ancillary cost, just like what we charge for locks and some of the other items.
Okay.
Now, if we do have a student who has their fees waived due to economic reasons, then they do receive a PE uniform.
Okay.
Okay,
Any other questions I could try to answer?
no, thanks.
Thank you.
Item 4.9, student photography contract extension.
Okay, that's me again. Administration is recommending the contract extension for student photography services to be awarded to VIP. VIP, our incumbent vendor, has had great communication, ease of scheduling, and the quality of their pictures has been improved over our previous vendor. That was a big kudos in terms of feedback that we received from parents and coaches. The vendor has agreed to hold their price from the original rates that they had proposed in 2022. This extension that we're recommending would go from June 1st of 2025 through May 31st of 2027. And the extension would not only include student photography packages that are offered at all of our schools, but it also includes our ID badges that all staff wear, as well as graduation photos. So the administration recommends awarding the extension of the VIP contract, and the fiscal impact is that parents pay for these photo packages at this time.
Great, anyone have any questions or comments on that? Nope, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Item 4.10, construction update.
Yeah, so as we get close, all the projects that we have lined up through our construction team and also in-house are starting to get, we're starting to schedule meetings, a meeting with the buildings, talking about things, getting all the schedules set. So really no hardcore information for you other than everything is in motion. We're working with our partners, and we're really excited about all the great work that's going to be done this summer.
Great. I mean, I know I can't, this is like the precursor to when we get to see the
I know,
fun
it's
stuff,
great.
when you're
It's-
all
it's
done
a
with
lot-
all the hard
yeah,
work that
it's
you
a
and
lot
your
of fun.
team does all summer. So
Yeah,
thank
we
you
got
very much.
we got a great partner in Lamp, Dewberry, and Leggett, and then also our team here in the facilities department. So we're excited.
Yep. All right, anyone else?
Yeah.
Okay, item 4.11, master facility plan update.
So we're focusing on, of course, what John just brought forward, and what we need is our regularly scheduled maintenance, and we will bring back the next steps at a future meeting.
Sounds good. So that brings us to item 8, announcements. The announcement is that the next Board Operations Committee meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, April 8th at 4:30. And with that, we are adjourned. Thank you, everyone, for attending and presenting.